Now that we are well aware of the muscle contraction according to sliding filament theory, we have to get well versed with a few terms, and one very important term associated with the muscles of mammals is myoglobin. So first thing that we are going to come across is what is myoglobin. When we talk about myoglobin, then on the basis of presence of myoglobin, we have two types of muscles which are present. So those muscle fibers are red muscle fibers and white muscle fibers. So clearly in this topic, we are going to see what is myoglobin and what are the differences between the red and white muscles. So first of all, let's take what is myoglobin. It somewhat resembles the term hemoglobin. Now myo word, you know, it refers to muscles and globin molecules would be present. So it is a similar molecule as in the case of hemoglobin, that is iron and oxygen binding molecule. So myoglobin is reddish in color. Alright, so this is a pigment which is present. Basically, it is a pigment molecule which is present in the muscles. More are the myoglobin which are present in the muscle, more is the number of myoglobin in the muscle, the reddish appearance it has. Now, I would tell you a simple difference, like those of you who consume chicken and the red meat, you can distinguish very well that the red meat happens to be those of mammals, and because the chicken that you consume belongs to birds, it does not have that red part inside it. Whatever red meat you are consuming, that is due to the presence of myoglobin in those muscles. Now that myoglobin is a reddish pigment which gives a reddish appearance to the muscles, and on the basis of presence of myoglobin, more is myoglobin present, reddish would be the muscle, lesser myoglobin, there would be whitish appearance to the muscles. Now in our body, we have both red and white muscles which are present, muscle fibers which are present, and according to the presence of myoglobin, the work is also divided accordingly in red and white muscles. Now what would be the work? Because this is a reddish pigment which is oxygen binding and iron binding, as I told you, this has a very important role to play in aerobic contraction of muscles. Now when I talk about aerobic contraction, you know that there are two types of respirations which take place, in which we study lactic acid fermentation. Whenever we talk about lactic acid fermentation, we do mention that lactic acid is being formed inside the muscles. So the myoglobin is responsible for aerobic contraction of the muscles, that means aerobic respirations resultant ATPs, that means whatever respiration is taking place, that would be aerobic, and the resultant ATPs would be used for muscle contraction. In case when myoglobin is present in lesser quantities, what would be the ATP generation source? So that happens to be glycolysis which takes place inside the cells, and that glycolysis ATP happens to be the source of muscle contraction ATP basically, and this glycolysis ATP, they are responsible for contraction of white muscles, because lesser would be myoglobin, lesser would be oxygen that would be present, more would be the formation of lactic acid, because lactic acid gets formed during anaerobic condition, as we know that. Now on the basis of presence of myoglobin, there are two fibers. What is the difference between red muscle fiber and white muscle fiber? First difference is, you have to remember these differences by heart, but the first and foremost difference is that one is aerobic, one is responsible for aerobic respiratory outcome contraction, and other is responsible for anaerobic. So the first name would be that one contraction would be brought about by oxidative phosphorylation which takes place in mitochondria. So another thing that we point towards is that the red muscles, because they are aerobic muscles, there would be lot of concentration of mitochondria inside them. First thing is that these are aerobic muscles, okay? And I need not to say that classification or the distinction has been made on basis of myoglobin. More myoglobin, quite lesser myoglobin. That is the first and foremost difference. And these are anaerobic muscles. Second is myoglobin abundant. Over here, least myoglobin is present. As in case of myoglobin, again the mitochondria would be abundant. over here mitochondria would be almost absent, because whatever they require is present in cytoplasm. They have to undertake glycolysis for the production of ATP. Okay, next is that these aerobic muscles are responsible for slow and steady contraction, but do remember the contraction is prolonged. As in the case of our back muscles, they are red muscles. Slow and steady contraction they would bring about, and over here it would be fast and short. The contraction would be fast and shorter, as in the case of our eye muscles. You know, they are white muscles and the contraction would be fast and short. It would not be prolonged. So because they can contract for a longer time, so the fatigue is less. Fatigue in muscles is slow. And over here the fatigue is faster. Try to extend your eye muscles for a longer period. The fatigue would be small, very quick. You would get tired, you would want to blink your eyes, and in the case of your hand, keep it for 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, I would say keep it for 5 minutes. You will be able to feel the fatigue slowly, because red muscles are involved over there. In case of white muscles, the fatigue would be faster. And the most important point that you have to remember, that is that can become an exam question for you, and is a point of understanding for conceptual questions, that is that sarcoplasmic reticulum are lesser in red muscles, and in case of white muscles the sarcoplasmic reticulums are abundant. Okay, so these are the differences that you have to remember, apart from the differences that I have told you. That first is that these are aerobic muscles, these are anaerobic muscles, these are dependent on oxidative phosphorylation for ATP, these are dependent on glycolysis generated ATP. The myoglobin is abundant in greater quantities, that's why they are named red muscles. These muscles, they have least myoglobin content, that's why they appear white, because red pigment is not present. Then talking about mitochondria, as they are aerobic, they would need oxidative phosphorylation, so they would need mitochondria in great abundance. Mitochondria, even if they are not present, would do in case of white muscle contraction. These muscles, they are slow and steady in their contraction processes, while the white muscles, they are for fast and short contractions. In the case of white muscles, because they are for fast and short, I'm saying this term time and again, short, so there the fatigue would be at a faster rate. Those which have steady contractions, they will have longer contractions and they would fatigue slowly. And last one is that the sarcoplasmic reticulum is present in lesser quantities in red muscles as compared to those in white muscles. So these are the points of differences that you have to remember, and for understanding you just have to remember that myoglobin, wherever would be present, it would be responsible for aerobic respiration, and for aerobic respiration the ATPs that would be generated as a result of that oxidative phosphorylation process that takes place inside mitochondria, those ATPs would bring about the contraction.